Let me take a look at what do you got. I'm pulling to the speculation station a lot. Speculation station.
Hello everyone!
Hello and welcome to the Speculation Station podcast, episode 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yes, it's a good number.
It is a good number. It's even.
Yes, and it's the square of 2.
Good. This is the
number.
Speculation Station podcast in which one person, that's me this week, the invigorator, brings in an object and the other person, the speculator, must speculate upon it. I'm this week's instigator, Will.
I believe interrogator.
That's the one I'm looking for. I'm this week's interrogator, Will, and this...
I'm this week's speculator, Tom.
Well remembered.
Yeah. I do remember my name, usually.
I know, I find it quite hard to remember anything.
Anyway.
Here comes the
Oh, it's
object.
out of your pocket. I
It's
like
in my
it
top
slick.
pocket. Close your eyes.
I'm closing.
Here we go. I'm going to put it in your hands. Oh, maybe I should. Yes. Okay, so don't open your eyes. I'm putting it in your hands.
Oh, gosh.
And I want you to try and guess with your eyes closed what that could be. Describe how it feels.
I mean, it's a light box-ish sort of thing.
How does the surface of the box feel?
Smooth and plasticky.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with smooth and plasticky. There's a little sort of jangly thing on the end here.
Yeah.
Don't know what to call that. It's kind of flexible and malleable, as if you twist it to attach it to something.
Sure.
There's some kind of emblem on the front that's embossed.
Yes.
I'm not sure I can open it. I want to open it.
Of course you want to open it as a box. I want you to
Hollow.
guess, and it can be a totally wild guess, what might be contained within this case or box.
I mean, it feels like a box for playing cards, but it's far too small, I feel.
Please open your eyes. Turn it over.
Oh, it's a seal.
Right, there's a wax seal.
Oh, that's awesome. Certificate.
I will ask you to turn it over. What do you see?
A diamond.
It's a diamond.
And they are forever.
They do say that.
Literally. So, wow, it's a diamond. It's got a seal on it. Is this a family seal?
I don't know if it's a family seal. It's probably more of a jeweler's seal, but it is a diamond within our family.
And this is a little... This I found fascinating when feeling it.
Little wire.
Yeah, this little sort of like twisty wire on the end.
That goes through the
and
top.
it's sort of sealed in an object. So it's something like that you... Yeah, this is awesome.
Well, so it's a bit of history. My mum has this, and she gave it to me. My brother has one, and I have one. And the idea is to turn it into something for our respective wives, which I think my brother has done. He made it into a Kaz.
No, not a Kaz, a necklace.
Thank you, Kaz. He didn't make it into a Kaz, he made it into a necklace.
Excellent.
We haven't quite decided what we want to do with it.
Interesting.
Maybe
okay.
we'll sell it for crack.
Wesselton.
Is that what it
The
says?
Farg Wesselton.
I mean, I presume this is
What does
all...
Farg mean?
It's probably all very well known to jewellers. So,
Carrot.
have you
0.52.
ever been so close to a proper diamond before?
Other than in a shop, probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
Aren't you supposed to do this?
What do you know about diamond and colour when you look at it and you reflect the light of it?
Well, it creates a spectrum, of course. It's famously used to sort of separate the patterns of light.
And what do you know in terms of quality of diamond versus the amount of colour you see?
I don't.
So this is something I found out relatively recently. It's kind of counterintuitive. The more colour the diamond shows, the less good quality it is.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
It
So
is.
it's actually got to be more white.
Exactly.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. So it's kind of pure, so it doesn't break up the light as much.
Maybe that's it.
Well,
Let's
there's a little bit of colour in this, I'm just going to say.
Oh, of course, it's not going to be the world's greatest diamond. Oh, I feel really bad now.
Yeah,
I'm going to
just
inflict
say,
a question from the deck upon you. Oh. So first of all, it's a wild card. The wild card is called perspective. So therefore, you must answer the next question as ... So I get to choose.
Okay.
I'd like you, because of the way you're dressed, I'd like you
Fairly
to answer
normally,
the
I
question.
believe.
No. I'd like you to answer the next question from the perspective as a pirate from the golden age of piracy.
A pirate? Okay. That's
I don't mean you have to be totally silly Pirates of the Caribbean, but I do want you to channel a real...
like that.
Well, I actually do, yes.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
So in which case I will draw an actual question.
Excellent.
The question for you, Mr. Pirate,
Okay.
is ready. Should this be in every house?
I mean, I think it would be good for the value of every house to have one in. But then I can nick it.
Oh, and that's what a pirate does?
Yeah, I mean, generally, but we nick things from the sea, so...
Right.
If it was every house, I'd prefer it was not in houses and on boats.
I just want you to know that your pirate accent is doing the classic thing of wavering between pirate and just West Country farmer.
West Country Farmer, Cornwall. Well, here's an interesting thing about the pirate accent in general,
Which came from?
which comes from the West Country in Cornwall. That's where it developed. A lot of people confuse it with Irish, who are from outside the UK. But the accent most people associate with pirates is going, "Arr, I'm a pirate," that kind of voice.
And who cemented that
Oh,
accent?
rubbish! It was a movie.
It was the 1950s Disney Treasure Island movie.
Of course.
The actor playing Long John Silver, I believe.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Used that accent, and since then, that has been the pirate
Yeah,
accent.
and it's just been popularised. But again, it's this idea. It's a Cornish accent. There's a good reason for it. Is because a lot of the English people who did actually run away to be pirates had that accent because they were from Cornwall or were Cornish smugglers and things
That's
like that.
it. Yes.
So if as a pirate, I would smuggle this.
Would you bury it on an island?
Oh yeah, I'd bury it on a. To be fair, I'd probably bury as many of diamonds as I could on that island, and
Why?
then I'd drink some rum.
Why do pirates bury their treasure? Why don't they take it somewhere
Why
and sell
wouldn't
it?
they?
Well, that's what I'd say. They can
To
sell
be fair, if I was a real pirate,
Yes.
I'd gather as many of these as together as I could, and then I'd do the ludicrous thing all pirates do. I try not to share the booty because,
course.
as many
it.
shares.
One never shares one's booty. if
One
possible.
share, me, okay?
King pirate.
And as a pirate, I'd probably go to the nearest, dirtiest port I could find.
And exchange it for
Exchange it for rum and whores.
loose women. Let's say
Of
loose
course,
women.
pretty much.
I just want to say that for non-UK viewers or audience, Loose Women is a rather asinine, banal UK daytime TV show
Oh, yes,
featuring
it's
a panel of ladies who talk about the issues
Sue
of the day.
Perkins.
Well, let's not admonish Sue Perkins, who might be known to international audiences as one of the original hostess of the Great British Bake Off,
Really, of
the
course.
TV show which has been very popular around the world.
Yeah.
I know Americans enjoy it as well, but yes,
As well?
as us. I say us. I don't watch it.
No, nor do
I don't
I.
probably do, but it's another thing. Well, thank you, Mr. Pirate.
Excellent.
I'm going to throw another question at you, but not as a pirate.
Good.
We seem to get this question a lot. Should I put this in my mouth?
If I wanted to not spoil this, I would say no. I think it's a bad idea. But if I wanted to swallow it to smuggle it somewhere,
Yes.
that's probably the first thing I would do. But I'd have to be very careful with my poo.
True, you have to sift through it.
Sift through my poo. But, it might be worth it for a diamond.
How about wrapping it in something, like the proverbial condom, attaching a string to it?
Proverbial condom?
I
You mean
don't-
an actual condom?
An actual condom.
A proverbial condom is just an idea.
Okay, an actual condom.
An actual condom.
Tie a string around it, swallow it, and
I
then
think you
keep
just
the
want to put a condom in your mouth.
Oh, well, let's never say never.
A flavoured condom?
Okay, what's the worst case scenario in which you'd have to put this in your mouth?
The worst case scenario?
Yes.
Well, there's a couple of angles. First angle would be we're at war and enemy soldiers are burning down the house,
Yep.
and I'm going to swallow it just so when I leave my house I have something to spend money to keep my family alive and
sure.
whatnot. That's probably one of the classic worst case scenarios. I guess the other worst case scenario is I'm currently in the middle of a bank stealing this,
Yes.
and the police are right here, and
No one ever swallows jewels from a bank heist.
no. Though to be fair, jewels in a bank heist is probably not what I mean.
No, some banks have.
Oh, they have those little long boxes, and they're full of diamonds.
Yeah, that happens.
And they
in
have,
the UK.
so if I got a bunch of those, maybe I'd give it a go. I probably need some squash or something to swallow it with. Or
And
cordial
squash-
for our international
juice.
listeners.
Yes. Now, I want to ask you the opposite question, to which I already have an answer in my head.
Good.
What's one of the best case scenarios for putting a diamond in your mouth or swallowing a diamond?
If I want to cut my tongue.
That's not really a best case scenario.
If I want to sort of let it melt on my tongue. I have no idea.
Well, so you're close to what I was thinking of, which is if you're incredibly wealthy, to the point where money has no real meaning
okay,
anymore.
just to say you did
would,
it.
You would have a meal like diamond encrusted lobster. It doesn't add anything to the taste or the
Right.
enjoyment.
It's
but
just
you-
to show off.
Exactly, because you can eat
Yeah, I mean,
diamonds.
to be fair, if I was a louche sort of
Billionaire.
billionaire,
Playboy.
and I had my feet up on the table and I was relaxing,
Yes.
it might be something I would do.
How about diamond dust sprinkled on caviar?
I mean, that would probably be horrible, and it would probably
I
cut
mean,
your throat to shit.
Caviar sounds pretty horrible already to me.
I would eat caviar. I bet
Would
it's
you?
fucking
Have you
lovely.
had it? You haven't had it.
Well, no, I've not had caviar.
I've not had caviar. But
No. I've had lots of fish roe of different varieties.
which-
Does that count as caviar?
Oh, some people say that does count.
Like
as caviar.
salmon roe or salmon eggs, known as
Yes.
ikura in Japan,
That counts.
is absolutely lovely.
Purists might say it has to come from
But
beluga.
it kind of feels like eating little eyeballs.
Oh.
And you could have little, but it kind of is nice, and they kind of explode in your mouth.
Do they? I was going to say they presumably explode a little bit. Are they very fishy? Is there something else going on?
No.
Salt watery?
It's a bit sea. Definitely
Sea.
sea.
Oceany?
Ocean, no sea. Let's go with sea because
That's
it
not,
sounds
because
awful.
It sounds awful. Yes.
But you could, I guess, if you wanted to be a bit crispier, you could add some diamonds to it.
You do like crispy things.
I do, yes.
That's
they're
for
the best,
sure.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you another question from
Good.
the deck because
Good.
I can. Well, we've already slightly asked this, but have you ever used this?
Have I ever used
Have
it?
you ever used any kind of diamond?
Well, of course.
In what
Razor.
sense?
In the bad old days when I actually shaved.
Diamond plated?
Yeah,
tipped?
diamond tip razors. That's
How
probably
about,
the
have you ever used an old school vinyl record player? Because they have.
Of course, yeah.
diamond tip. There you go. I have indeed, yeah.
There's also, I'm not sure about like the various crystal radio sets. Okay, I'm not sure they use diamonds though.
Well,
you could.
My wedding ring.
Is it encrusted with diamonds?
Well, if you see, it has 3 holes in it for diamonds, 2 of which are now empty.
What happened to them?
They fell out at some point.
Oh,
You're
irresponsible. Let me look.
Yeah,
at
I
them.
always joke to my wife that when the last one goes, that's divorce.
I'm
The last
putting a-
diamond. You can see one of the holes has soap in from where I washed my hands earlier.
Oh, that's
How
disgusting.
does it fit? Is it too big for you, or is it because your other wedding ring is on?
It might be because my other wedding rings.
I prefer your wedding ring. It's a nice solid gold band, which is pretty neat. When we remarry, which we are going to do, we'll just get normal wedding bands. But so far,
Okay,
the
interesting.
first 2 diamonds went very quickly.
There's something about the simplicity of it that I quite enjoy. you know.
Exactly. You don't
Just
need anything
does the job.
ostentatious. Okay,
Good.
next. Oh, it's a fun question card. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm prepared.
Should we make a little song about this?
Okay.
There is a guitar in this room somewhere, right?
No.
Is that
No,
on
no,
the
there's
wall?
not. There's not.
So no guitar?
No guitar.
So just by ourselves?
Yes, yeah.
Should we make a little rhythm?
So that's how we go. Oh, little diamond, come to me. Oh, little diamond, eat some cheese.
Diamond, you're a
Let's have
little
a diamond
diamond.
together. It's shiny and stuff and other stuff too.
What could we sell this diamond for?
I like diamonds.
I
very,
like
very much.
diamonds. You
I
like diamonds very, very much. Done.
Diamonds are forever.
That was a little song, and we
Kind
did
work.
make it. Should we award ourselves 20 points each for that?
I'll give you 3. But
Oh,
you see,
then you get 1. Perfect. Next question. I'm the instigator, invigilator, interrogator.
yes.
Oh, we'll finish on this question because this is a nice one.
Powerful.
Have I brought a good object?
I think it's an interesting object. Okay.
Oh, that was diplomatic.
Good. Good is an interesting question because how do we measure good in the world?
How well? Not in the world. In the podcast, has it engendered a good, fun conversation?
Yeah, I think it's been, yes, fun is definitely a word we could use to describe it. But in terms of like a good object, I think it's an exciting object. But is it good? Is it good for the world that we?
Well, something I
this
wanted to
object,
talk
are
about.
diamonds good for the world? I
So
don't
let me
know.
finish with a
You
question
can
that's not from the deck of cards. A question I want to ask you then. What do you know about the absolute value of diamonds in our world and culture?
I mean, basically bugger all, other than the fact they're pretty valuable because they're a useful object in some
Yes.
way, but, you know, as they get bigger, they just become a fancy object. And this is fairly big as diamonds go.
Yes.
It's
Not
not,
as big
it's
as-
not a cubic zirconia. It's
Well,
not
that's
fake
manufactured
diamond.
diamond, yes. So, something I found out quite recently, I'm sure a lot of our audience probably have also heard this fact quite recently as well, because it's much talked about, is that diamonds have an artificially inflated value. They are nowhere near as rare as they are supposed to be, and they're nowhere near as valuable as they are supposed to be. This is an artificial value inflated by, lo and behold, diamond sellers, generally, and jewellers and
Why do they do
resource
that, though? That's the question I've got.
It's a good question.
I don't want to break this.
Because it makes them more money. Why not? You
Yeah.
won't break it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I feel like I was going to slide the top out, but I don't think it will.
If you break it, you buy it.
Oh. I mean, it's mine.
At which point you have
I
to
get to
value
keep
it.
this.
That could be worth £10. It could be worth £1 million. I have no idea. It's probably worth maybe 100 or
But
so.
what it's worth is its sentimental value,
Yes,
which is what?
little. Because I've only come into possession quite recently.
But you could gain sentimental value.
I keep it somewhere very safe for any of our audience who think they might be able to come round and steal it off me. No way, man. I've got my kung fu skills. You'll never get it off me.
Because kung fu is known to be effective.
Yeah, I keep it buried somewhere away from my property.
Yeah, well, you know, it's definitely dangerous. Do you know what it also looks like?
What? In its case.
Yeah, in its case, it looks like a standing computer.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say. In a way, because inside the case is a kind of felty, soft case for the diamond within the plastic case. It reminds me of the monolith from
Yeah, it
Kubrick's
does kind of
2001.
remind me of that. But I was almost thinking like this looks like the
diamond.
diamond itself looks like the eye of a sort of of a standing computer
Oh, well, almost like Hal from
Yeah,
2001.
just like Hal from 2001.
Perfect.
I think that's a good. So it's like a little Hal that we could play with together, and that could
Yes.
kill us.
Yes. That's a good place to end it.
Yes. Diamonds can kill us.
Hoist your drink, which apparently has become traditional for the end of the episodes. Let's clink.
Hooray!
Thank you for
Yes.
watching or listening. The 4th episode of the Speculation Station
Yes.
podcast.
Perhaps you could find your own diamonds. Tell us actually real information about diamonds instead of the detritus we poured out of our
That's
mouths.
true. If you have any idea why diamonds are artificially inflating their value, or if even that's the case, I might be wrong.
Yes, he's
Please let us
probably
know.
wrong, if anything.
And if you have any fun diamond facts or any
Yeah.
mere speculation, please do write in and tell us. Answers on a postcard, as they used to say in the UK.
In fact, postcards only,
Postcards only!
but only via email if possible.
Okay, please post your postcards scanned in via email to our Twitter account via Facebook.
Yes, hashtag. Okay,
Hashtag-
diamonds are forever. Hashtag at speculation#.com.
.diamond.com.
Dot.
We will see you at the next Speculation Station podcast show, episode 5, when Tom will bring in an object and I will speculate upon it. Until
Hopefully.
then,
Goodbye,
and take care.
and goodbye,
And take care.
and doctor,
Doctor, thank you. And good luck.
and good luck.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Next time.
Speculation Station.